Welcome to this month's All Hands Television. Admiral Gary Roughead, the Chief of Naval Operations, is preparing to retire after 38 years in the Navy. We talked to Admiral Roughead about his career, and we'll use his interview throughout our program. We looked at many of the slogans that have existed throughout his naval tenure, such as Navy, it's not just a job, it's an adventure, and Accelerate Your Life. So what does the outgoing CNO think about the Navy as a global force for good?
I think the new slogan for me really epitomizes what the Navy's about. We are a global force. There's no question about it. We're on every ocean. We're on every continent. We are always out and present. We're always moving around. As a force for good, it can range anywhere from humanitarian assistance to being able to enforce a no-fly zone that's keeping people from being killed, in some cases, as we see today, by their own governments. And so that global force for good spans all of the capabilities. But the objective is that we use the force, we use the Navy to make the world a better place.
We, as a nation, have come back stronger, as witnessed many times throughout the last decade. Like the CNO said, the Navy really is everywhere and ready to step in and provide aid when needed. We saw that assistance in 2004 when the Indian Ocean tsunami devastated the southern Asian area.
The magnitude of that really had a pretty significant professional and personal impact on those of us who worked it, and clearly a significant impact on me. And I would say that if you look at how we did disaster response prior to the tsunami and what we do now, it really is a changed approach that we have, and one that at the end of the day I think has helped countless people.
In today's Navy, sailors around the fleet must work harder to set themselves above their peers. Admiral Roughead started as an ensign and worked his way up to becoming the highest ranking person in the Navy. The Admiral's guidelines to a successful career apply to both officer and enlisted ranks.
The approach that I took throughout my career was to be the best that I could be at whatever job I was in at the time. And so I would just tell them to do that, to always be thinking in terms of how do I make myself better, how do I learn more, how can I do my job better, and then how can I impart what I've learned on those who are coming behind me so that they have a chance to be more successful than I have been.
Today, Admiral Roughead tells us about one of his most influential leaders.
I often think back and give the greatest credit to the first Chief Petty Officer that really took me under his wing. And his love for the Navy, his commitment to the Navy, his commitment to his sailors, and how he led sailors really inspired me. And as I look back on my relationship with him, at the time I didn't realize all the lessons that he was teaching me because he was that effective in that.
After serving your country for 38 years, what would you remember the most? When we sat down with Admiral Roughead, he told us what he treasures most about his career.
It's given me an opportunity to be around the best young men and women that anyone could ever hope to be with. I think that's really what has really kept me in the Navy. The sailors, the families, what they have done with me, for me, that's been the fun of it all. You know, I can look back over operations and experiences and events that have taken place in the world, but the memories are always of the sailors. That's the best part.